George Kilpatrick Inspiration for the Nation, celebrating people we feel good about. We got a special guest in the building. Daquetta Jones is the CEO of Vera House Incorporated, joining us. Now, you know what? First of all, it is October and it's the
Yes, it
Domestic
is.
Violence Awareness Month. And over the years, we have featured and highlighted the work of Vera House. Now, y'all know I am affiliated and associated with Vera House. So we're not going to get that twisted. Let's get all of that out. And I've been actually, the credit this month is 12 years, believe it or
Yeah. Happy work anniversary, yo. In 12 years,
not. Can you believe that?
over a decade.
Wow.
Congratulations. Thank you for your service, for your leadership. Just thank you.
Appreciate that. So Daquetta, new to the community, so it's been about a year.
It's been over a year now.
Over a
September
year.
18th
Okay.
made an official year that I have had the privilege to serve and lead Vera House.
So tell us a little about you and your background for folks that have not had a chance to meet, because you be out here in these streets now, but for people that haven't had a chance to meet you yet, tell us a little about your background.
Absolutely. So, Daquetta Jones, and I like to always state my pronouns, which is queen, she, and hers. I have had the privilege of serving in the nonprofit sector for over 25 years, working with a plethora of populations from individuals with severe and persistent mental illness to individuals living with HIV/AIDS, the unhoused population, as well as runaway and homeless youth. One of the roles that I am very proud to have had the privilege to serve and lead in was the YWCA of the Greater Capital Region, which I feel that's when I became really known in my community for that work. And YWCA of the Greater Capital Region mission is to empower women, eliminate racism, and promote peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. The organization is one of the largest organizations in the capital region that provides supportive housing, which housed over 104 women and 60 children every single day, as well as a plethora of other services and programs that the organization provide. And also knowing that it not only had a local impact, but also being a part of a national and a global impact. So I had the privilege of being a part of, as well as leading YWCAs of New York State, which I served in that role for about over a year. And collectively across New York State, YWCAs served about 200,000 women, as well as children every single year. So we worked tirelessly to connect with our elected officials, to promote the work that we do, as well as to be able to have an item line in the budget. It was a very pride. I feel like also I found my voice working at YWCA. So after YWCA in 2019, I was appointed as the Deputy Commissioner for New York State, where I overseen the HR department as well as the financial department with New York State Civil Service. And, in addition to that, I have done a lot of community work. Community is so important to me, community partnership, because we need to be in partnership with whatever mission or movement that we are behind. And I'm just so privileged to have had that opportunity to serve in the capital region as well as across New York State, and having a national impact as well as a global impact. So now I have the privilege since September of 2023 to lead and serve Vera House, which many folks may be aware what Vera House mission is, which it is to prevent, respond to, and partner to end domestic and sexual violence and other forms of abuse. I also think So it's also important for me to give a little more of a history about Vera House and paying homage to our founders. So Vera House was founded in 1977 by a group of concerned individuals led by Sister Mary Vera. Vera House is a comprehensive nonprofit victim services agency providing advocacy, SANE services, which is the sexual assault nurse examiners, emergency shelter, prevention education, group and individual therapy, multidisciplinary teams, and accountability groups with a focus, of course, on domestic violence, sexual assault, and elder abuse. Each department within Vera House aims at supporting clients to regain their life and unlearn harmful beliefs centered around domestic violence and sexual assault. And overall, we seek to help people become more self-sufficient by strengthening families and moving the conditions in which, improving the conditions in which they live and developing partnerships within their own community.
And so you came to Vera House about a year ago. And what made you take the job?
Well, for one, it was a need, and I see myself as a transformational leader. For one, I am also a survivor, and I have been in the space of domestic violence. So I felt that, you know what, I can most definitely do this. I care about this. I'm compassionate about this work. And I felt that although I knew that it was going to be a challenge, that I was the person that was selected to be able to transform Vera House. And I feel that over the last year, we have most definitely made some substantial strides. We still have some more work to do. And two, I just feel that it's also important for me to acknowledge our executive leadership team, our senior leadership team, as well as our entire workforce that shows up every single day for the survivors.
So you came at a time in the agency when the agency was in a rough spot transition wise. It was recovering from what many in the community, survivors, et cetera, were concerned about, which was Marcus Jackson, and who was a registered sex offender who was working at Vera House. And these are the things that we have to talk about because this is what the community is still talking about. And so when you look at that situation, the next series of questions is going to be about where we are as an agency, or where the community wants to believe we are as an agency, or we are, right? We're a family. But these are things that the community is asking about. So recovering from that incident that was about 2 years ago, what would you like to say to the community about where the agency is in recovery from that, and what you wanted to say to survivors about that?
Absolutely. So Vera House has made substantial progress since 2022, sorry. That year brought some significant challenges, including workforce shortage, pain, as well as a lot of conflict. What I would like to add is our former executive director, Randy Bregman, demonstrated, Bregman, thank you so much, demonstrated commendable accountability by taking full responsibility for the decision in an open letter to our community, a loving and honorable act that exemplified the integrity at the core of our mission. So we have, for one, long had a determination of suitability process in place when it comes to hiring, which involves in-depth discussions about potential hires when background checks reveal some concerns. So this process centers on the clients we serve, ensuring every hire decision that we make is in the best interest of Vera House, as well as for those that we serve. So for instance, in 2023, we served over 17,000 individuals. And as of, I want to say it was July 31st, 2024, we are on track to double that number by December of this year. So our focus remains steadfast, actually, on supporting survivors, as well as enhancing our programs to better serve victims, survivors, as well as our community.
When you look back at that and you talk about Randy and the efforts that have been made in the community, one of the questions that comes up is what is being done to repair the hurt that the community says they experienced, and how do you repair that, and what are you doing to repair that?
So internally, we've made some significant strides by stabilizing and strengthening operations, compliance, rebuilding relationships, and that include with our workforce and improving governance. And that relates to our board of directors as well as our board of trustees. And externally, I'm so excited to share that we were accepted into Gifford Foundation's Embracing Disruption program, which is a 15-month program that supports a total of 5 organizations, kind of how to navigate through some challenging times, right? It's also the partnerships that we have had with experts like Patty Wise, where we're better understanding our organization life cycle phase, right? Ensuring that Vera House remains a strong and resilient community pillar. Something to add for this when it comes to our advocacy department is that we have served over 3,400 individuals along this year. Right. So we're still making sure that the work that we're doing internally, as well as the work that we're doing externally, it is all around centering the clients that we serve every single day.
So what efforts are being then made to repair with the local corporate community? I ran into somebody the other day, Daquetta, who said Vera House was an agency you couldn't say no to. Yeah. And so what's being done to repair that?
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, is relationships or community partnership is significant to me. And so I have, as you said, I've been out in these streets, meeting with, for one, our funders, meeting with our partners, even meeting with our clients. I have also made sure that I am accessible to everyone. I created a Calendly link so that anyone that's interested in meeting with Daquetta Jones, the new CEO of Vera House, it is a simple way for them to be able to access me. And I want to make sure, George, that when you share this, that you also share the link for folks to access me. So for one, rebuilding trust is paramount. Right. And that is, I feel, a daily responsibility in the way in which that I am showing up, as well as my full team is showing up. What I would like to say is, from me, and I also feel like from us, we sincerely apologize for the past harmful decisions and are committed to making amends. So, for instance, we're working with experts like Gwen Weber McLeod, who is the founder and CEO of Gwen Inc., as well as partnering with Mike Malara, who is the executive director of Catholic Charities. And so we're focusing on governance improvements, leadership development, organizational development, and transformational change. So in 2024, we're continuing to strengthening our board's oversight, the operational accountability, reflecting our dedication to integrity, as well as providing quality of service, improving our facilities, workplace culture, and staff development, including launching a campaign to help us completely transform Vera House.
One of a couple of other questions that come up regarding where Vera House is and its stabilization process. Yeah. Do you feel that the agency has the capacity to service the need that exists in the community? And if not, what is being done to bring it to that capacity, since there's been, a lot of staff turnover? And so that's a question that comes up as well.
Absolutely. So I think, George, you can attest to the improvements within the workforce, as well as making sure that we are able to hire compassionate, dedicated, and talented individuals. When I came on board, I believe we had about 42 employees, right, out of 85 employees. So working in collaboration with our HR department as well as the
That's
senior
like
leadership
50%,
team,
right?
more
50%.
than 50%,
Right. Over
more than
50%. Yeah.
50%. So now we are approaching about 70 employees, right? And that has been a lot of intentional work as well, in partnering again with the senior leadership team, such as yourself, in the process of hiring, right? So that we're making sure that we are hiring the appropriate candidates that when day one come and showing up, they're aligned with Vera House values as well as our mission.
What do you say to people who say they didn't trust Vera House during this transitional period? And what do you say to them so that they feel that Vera House can be trusted again? And this goes back to like how they feel they weren't, where the survivors weren't consulted or where they weren't considered. And you even said yourself as a survivor, this is a commitment that you've made. So how do you let people feel that they can trust Vera House again?
Absolutely. So for one, I think what is important, Vera House is still here. And we are serving every single day. Every day we are preventing, we're responding, and we're partnering to end domestic and sexual violence and other forms of abuse. I have an exemplary team that is committed to the work, and they are showing up even during the very challenging times. And so I feel that it's also important for the community to know that I'm available to them. I want to hear the feedback. I want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's why you're here, right?
That's right. That's why I'm here. And I tell you, I have received great feedback, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. However, it has allowed for us to make changes, to reimagine some of our departments, right, or the way in which that we do work. So I am about listening to that feedback, because for me, that is where success is. And if we're successful, that is impacting survivors.
And there's work that has to be done. It's not perfect yet.
Absolutely. It's we I feel we still have about a year ahead of us.
To in
Right?
that life cycle of right transition, disruption, lots of disruption, certainly. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And so for to be, very direct about where Vera House was when I came on board, we were in the decline stage of a life cycle, especially after being a very mature organization. We were
Hmm.
in the maturity stage of a life cycle. And I feel that we are now entering into the turnaround stage, right? And it's going to be some work for us to then return to the maturity stage
Right.
as well. And again, this isn't something that is happening in a vacuum. This includes the voices of the executive leadership team, the senior leadership team, our direct staff that's providing the service, as well as our community partners and our funders, as well as our donors and our clients.
Um, Daquetta, the other question that comes up is the relationship that the agency has with law enforcement. Certainly during this transition, there was some question about relationship with not only law enforcement, but with the DA's office and
Yes.
other key stakeholders. Where do we stand with those relationships?
So it was a priority for me when I came on board to meet with the police department, the district attorney's office, as well as the sheriff department. And that was done. We are now back engaging with the district attorney, and I'm very grateful to District Attorney Fitzpatrick for the invitation for us to connect and for us to restart our relationship, as well as with the police chief. I'm proud to state that Captain Malinowski is actually a board member of Vera House. So we've made significant progress by, for one, starting with communication, having a conversation, hearing from them maybe what concerns that they have. But also, I have a practice that I learned when I think I was in like third grade. First day of school, the teacher said to us, everybody start with an A. Right? And so then she stated, it's up to you to keep it. So that's how I treat the relationships is everybody is going to start with an A and it is up for you to keep that A.
The other piece I gotta, and Daquetta, let me just say this: Daquetta did not tell me what to ask her. So just so y'all are really clear, and I want like, oh, they just got together. She did. I do have one of the other touch points, and then we can move on to the happy stuff, right? One of the other touch points was when Vera the decision to the racial equity and DEI work that Vera House began engaged in, and how some felt that that work wasn't our work. What do you want to say about that?
Yeah, so from some feedback that I have received, for one, I want to make it very clear that there is nothing wrong with anti-racism work. There is nothing wrong with diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, justice work at all. However, feedback that I have received is it is the way in which that the work was being delivered. And I feel that when we have a commitment, when it comes to our mission, that we have to make sure that it is being delivered and it is aligned with our mission so that there isn't harm that is transpiring. We should never be violent or appear to be violent in providing anti-racism work, diversity, equity, inclusion work, right? So, but it's nothing wrong with anti-racism, diversity, equity, inclusion work at all. It's something that
and we're committed to continuing to do that work.
Absolutely. It's a part of our values. It is weaving into every single thing that we do and decisions that we're keeping that in the forefront of our minds and of our decision making.
And I guess one more thing, lots of media attention, a lot of requests to talk to you, and you basically said, I'm working on my relationships with the important stakeholders. Now that you're talking, you're back in the media again. What do you want to say about that?
So, for one, you know that we have had the opportunity to be a part of Bridge Street, which that's connected to a media outlet. So during the early days of my tenure, actually before I started at Vera House, I chose to focus internally before engaging extensively with the media. It was critical to fully understand the organization's challenge, or like I like to say, the pulse of the organization, as well the dynamics after a very challenging time. I still feel confident in making the decision to focus on my team. That and focus on understanding Vera House, our mission, our programs, our services, developing relationships with the board of directors, the board of trustees, as well as our funders. That was the priority. Now, what I will say is that we provided statements to one particular outlet. However, they chose to not share that in their reporting. So as I became more informed, and I have continued to be open and committed to being transparent about Vera House path forward, as well as our ongoing mission.
So now that we've done all of that, we've got all that out of the way, right? I mean, is there any more you want to say about any of the past and the transition and the challenges? Any more you want to say about that?
I want to acknowledge my team. because without my team showing up every single day, we wouldn't be here. So I give I have a lot of respect and appreciation um, for our team that shows up every single day, even during the most challenging days that they have experienced. I just thank them. I also thank those that continue to stand by Vera House during this challenging time by centering our clients, the victims and survivors. I thank you for that. I also thank our funders, as well as our donors for standing by us and guiding us, as well as making contributions to the organization to help us move forward. I'm grateful for that.
Any good news you want to share in this transformation?
In this transformation, well, one of the, I feel, greatest success, I want to say I was probably about 4 months in, 4 or 5 months in. Many are not aware that our 9-bed safe dwelling closed temporarily as a result of staffing shortages in August of 2022. We were able to reopen the 9-bed safe dwelling in February of 2024. That was big because the need is incredible. Although it is unfortunate that we have a need this great, but that is something that I feel should be known, that in addition to our 27-bed emergency shelter, we have an additional 9-bed safe dwelling.
So, Daquetta, what do you want to? What's your vision for where you want to take the agency? You have a gala coming up on October 19th, so let's talk about that as well. But what's your vision? What do you want? What do you want to Vera House? Share your vision with us.
Absolutely. So with Vera House, or with my vision for Vera House, it is for one to completely transform the organization, right? To be able to be fully in compliance, to have better systems and processes, to rebuild the trust that in the community. One thing that is important to me is about community healing, right? So there is a journey that I want Vera House to go on with our community about healing. However, the first priority is to fully stabilize Vera House. I want us to be able to relaunch our survivors network, right? That has been on hold since 2022. I want that. I want us to re-engage in that. And I am appealing to anyone that is interested, survivors interested in being a part of the Survivors Network, having conversations with kind of what they want the Survivors Network to look like in the future. And again, it's important to make sure we are fully stabilized so that when we do re-engage or relaunch the Survivors Network, we do it well.
October 19th is the New Beginnings Gala. Your opportunity to for the community to share in the transformation of Vera House. What do you want to say about that? And
Absolutely.
How can people get involved and engaged?
Absolutely. So it's important to mention that the New Beginnings Gala is being presented by Bellick and Fox. It's going to take place October 19th at the On Center from 5 to 9 p.m. This is Vera House's largest fundraiser. And unfortunately, we have not had this event for 2 years. It is happening this year with the goal of raising $250,000. The evening is going to include cocktail hour, silent auctions, wine pool, as well as music from the Silver Arrow Band. So we're just thrilled too to have Gifford Foundation's Executive Director Sheena Solomon, as well as Syracuse Mayor Ben Walsh, serving as our co-honorary chairs for the event. And so we'll also make sure we pass on more information, George, so that folks can know where they can go to learn more about the event, as well as to purchase tickets. For the event, there are still sponsorship opportunities, honorary committee, as well as being able to purchase a table.
And that's verahouse.org. Just go right to the website.
Yep, verahouse.org, and then select About Us, and then select Events, and you will see the New Beginnings Gala. I think it's also
Go ahead.
It's also so important that, again, you mentioned it early on, that October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And this is marking our second annual Domestic Violence Awareness Month campaign. And so the campaign partners with national awareness campaigns directly with our mission and the work we are called to do every single day. So recognizing that Vera House has served more than 17,000 individuals in 2023, on track to double that by the end of 2024. But it's our responsibility to broaden the awareness and for the call to action for this month for the campaign. There's more information on how you can engage, whether if it's individuals, if it's businesses, organizations. Just learn ways that you can partner with us or also make a contribution, because all funds that raise, we reinvest that in the services and the programs that we provide every single day. And again, you can find that at verahouse.org, and it's listed under events.
And October 17th, Thursday, October 17th, they can wear purple.
Yes.
Wear Purple
Yes.
Day. Thursday, October 17th
Yes.
is Wear Purple Day. So make sure you are wearing purple on Wear Purple Day on Thursday,
Absolutely.
October 17th.
And we are also planning a visual to take place in October. So stay tuned. More information will be coming. October is a very heavy month for us because, for one, the Domestic Violence Awareness Campaign, as well as our largest fundraiser, and as well as everything that we do on a daily basis. But so more will be coming about the visual.
Daquetta Jones, anything else you want to add to what we've already invited you to share today?
No, I just want to, for one, thank you, George, for the opportunity to be on your show, the inspiration for the nation.
Hey.
I really appreciate it, with Power 620, iHeartRadio. And it's just been a privilege to discuss the journey as well as the transformation of Vera House with such a respected platform.
Appreciate you. Daquetta Jones, CEO of Vera House. Mark your calendars, October the 19th at the On Center. It's the New Beginnings Gala, verahouse.org. Click on the About Us section. And also, we'll put in this video, when you see it, Daquetta's Calendly link. So
That's
as
right.
she said, you can, if you have a question, comment, or concern, you can get with her directly. Daquetta, thank you for your time. Thank you for your candor. And I appreciate you joining us here on Inspiration for the Nation, celebrating people we feel good about.
Thank you so much, George.